always tell them they need to paint it on that field house over there, paint the walls, so when you walk on that field, it tells people what's happened here, and it tells our kids what's going on here. You know, there's a lot of pride in that, and you know, there's a lot of pride in getting your name up, your team name up there.
Guess who else got their team name up there? Port Isabel back in the high life again with a big win over Sinton this past week. Kenny the Jet Herrera taking in the kickoff for the touchdown right there against Sinton, and the Pirates were shocked and shocked badly, and Port Isabel just ran all over them in the rain, even with a delayed kickoff. Aguilar and Vela combining for a ton of yards. Port Isabel getting their team's name up on there as they make the regional semifinals once again. That sets up Port Isabel taking on Geronimo Navarro, 10-2. That game to be determined, but most likely it will be in Corpus Christi on Friday, possibly at Cabinets Field. They'll probably determine that this afternoon. Next, waiting in the wings, Orange Grove, the team that dispatched Raymondville, or Belleville next up. So let's talk about the Tarpons. It looks like they are peaking at the right time. This is a team that is used to going 3 deep in the playoffs, and Todd, here they are again.
Yeah, absolutely. Before the season, you kind of figured this was going to be the 3A team to make some noise, and you know they had a stumble or two during the regular season, which said, "Oh, maybe the old things are coming up the PI." But they, as you said, they're the hot team right now. They played well, and that win over Sinton was really, really impressive. And it's kind of like Ed Couch, where you play those teams from upstate a little bit sooner, and if you could beat one, you can start beating the others. So this is a team that maybe could go on a nice little run here.
Yeah, and it's, Coach Stumbaugh is used to taking his team this deep. He did it in 03, did it in 04, doing it again.
I like the way they did it, too. They were hurt early on, and they didn't panic. They didn't start throwing guys around at positions. They just waited it out, let the defense stay healthy, get the line better, and now suddenly they've got depth, experience, and again, like I said before the season started, they'll be the last team standing in the Valley. I still think that.
And you look at what Coach Stumbaugh has done, and there's people talking about maybe Stumbaugh has worn out his welcome at Port Isabel. I hope nobody's that stupid. I really hope no. But don't anybody in the Port Isabel administration who thinks that they can do better than this man, think again. Don't make yourself a laughingstock for all time. Don't make people remember you as the person who thought that it would be good to get rid of Monty Stumbaugh, because it wouldn't be a smart move in any stretch of the imagination. And speaking of not smart moves getting rid of coaches, how about Tony Harris? There's going to be a rally for him, as you figured there would. After 17 years at Mac High, you thought this man had some big-time supporters, and he does. There will be some people coming out to rally for Coach Tony Harris. 5 o'clock Tuesday at the McAllen Municipal Park. Parents, players are going to speak in support of the former Mac High coach. Perhaps they can get it overturned. Todd, it's been done before. It happened at Roma just a few years ago when Max Habecker got reinstated as coach. Any chance it could happen at Mac High?
I mean, politics, man. Politics in the Valley and in Texas high school football. It's not the first time, won't be the last time. Hopefully it is something that can get returned. Tony Harris is a very good coach. He's proven it for 17 years now. And it's just kind of silly. Why would you get rid of him after, like, what did he prove that he hasn't proved over the previous time? Like, what did he do now that all of a sudden is a fireable offense? It's just kind of silly. So hopefully this can happen, and it's good to see the players and the parents and the community coming out and putting, power to words, and, go and talk to their school board members, and if they don't do what you want here, if they don't, listen to the people, then use your vote and get them out of there.
Joe, I've always said, keep your politics over here, keep your football over here. Don't mix them together.
Yeah, I'm terrible at talking politics, and when it comes to covering them in sports, just as bad. Yeah, same thing. It's going to be fun to watch, I guess you can say that, and exciting for the fans, I'm sure.
It certainly will. When we come back on Sunday Sports Extra, we're going to talk about the other 5A teams that were in action last night, including Brownsville Veterans, and an incredible game for this guy, Marco Munoz, and we'll talk about, whoa, my goodness, it's all when we come back.